Zerg is my worst matchup. That's because I hate playing Marine Mine. I'm so terrible at it. I don't like doing it. It's not fun for me, so I hate practicing it, and then I lose to Zerg and get mad. I can't do an Optimus Prime voice. I can do me doing a bad Optimus Prime voice, but I don't know. I can do a lot of other voices. I can do Kermit. I can do Batman. But I don't know about Optimus Prime. Swear to me! I don't even know how to bend my voice to make it sound like Peter Cullen doing Optimus Prime. I wouldn't even know where to start. Please play a game. Heart. Stark and I were doing some twos on EU where we would both play Terran and Planetary Fortress Rush together. That was a lot of fun. I actually placed in my league on EU by just doing Planetary Fortress Rushes. Unless I was playing against Zerg, at which point I would one base Raven. And I wanted to place Bronze, but builds were too good and I played Silver. Stark is a baller, though. He's a real nerd baller. Love that guy. I want these guys to play a game soon. Somebody make them play a game. BRB bio, but you can start. I'll force it out. Be right back, guys. I'm back. I hope I didn't miss any of the insanity. Okay. Looks like we're on, is this Yansu? I think it's Yansu. In the top right corner is our green player, Bsharp. Spawning on the opposite end of the map is our blue Protoss operator. Thanks, Sin. You're the best. You did great covering for me. by the way. Let's get you in here next time on Skype. Alright, 9 pylon out of operator. Pretty standard stuff. Drones and overlords for our Zerg player. Zerg players are... It's very common for them to make drones and overseers in the beginning of the map. Mostly because that's all they can really make. Just figured I'd throw that out there. Looks like we're not going to see any super early aggression out of our Protoss, because he's just dropping a 13, more macro-oriented 13 gate. Maybe a 1 gate expand. That could be fun. That could be fun. Bsharp tends to play very greedy, dropping a 15 pool. No gas behind it. So probably we're going to look at seeing a hatch after that pool. Makes me wonder why he chooses to do the pool if he's just going to do the hatch afterwards. Usually if you pull first, it's because you want to do some aggression or you want to drop some gas and get some speedlings out. But I guess it's if I had to venture, I guess I'd say he likes having the earlier queens for oh shit defense and for pumping out them drones. Probe is gonna pop into the base, but not actually scout anything. The probe is he's on a union break, which can happen on very unfortunate times. He's gonna get his ass back to work, and he's going to find the pool, and then probably head out to the expansion just to find that it is there. Meanwhile, in his base, Cybercore going up, Chrono boosting out the first Zealot, 1 gas taken. Getting close to time to throw down that 3rd pylon. Interested to see if he's going to throw it down in the enemy base or in his own spawn. 2nd gateway before 3rd pylon, so if anything says aggression, it's that. However, he's coming close to supply block, and we really need that 3rd pylon. 4 Zerglings on the map, making sure the expansion is safe. No real scouting from them, but there's an overlord at the exit of operator's base, making sure that there is no move out. 2 Zealots are ready to move out. 3rd gate going down. Looks like we're going to see some mean pressure coming out of operator. Maybe a 4 gate. Yep. There it goes. There goes the 4th gate. So 4 gate going down at the same time as a 3rd from Bsharp. So this 4 gate could potentially do a lot of damage. Big tell here when a probe moves out with 2 Zealots. That just screams aggression. So if Bsharp is playing close attention to his mini-map, we should see a bunch of Zerglings pop up in that production tab very soon. But instead, True Drones just went to 5. And a couple more getting added on there. Proxy Pylon is going down outside of the sight range of this Overlord here by the Zerg player's 3rd base. Still no Zerglings on the way, no spines, no extra queens. So this 4 gate could really shape up to do some damage. Operator's putting most of his chrono boost into the Cybercore here to really get that warp gate done quickly, so he really wants to do some aggression. Tipping his hand a little bit by doing some damage to that 3rd. May be good, maybe not. He's going to force out some Zerglings. His initial group of Zerglings is going to fall very quickly, and with a little bit of micro, he can get this queen without losing a Zealot. Maybe he doesn't even need the micro. 3 Zealots just do enough damage. He's going to go back to putting some pressure onto that Nexus. 16 Zerglings coming out for our Zerg player, as well as a Roach Warren. So his natural should be safe, even if the 3rd does go down. No extra set of Warpins yet coming to the Proxy Pylon. Oh, just as I say, we got 4 more Zealots. But with the Roach Warren finishing up, he's going to have a good chance to clean up Zealot pressure. Meanwhile, Operator, he's doing pretty good damage, getting some Zergling kills with these Zealots. But he's kind of stacking up his gas, and he's really going to need to start switching over to a more gas-heavy army if he wants to be able to combat the Roaches. He is now aware that there is a Roach Warren. 5 Roaches coming into play. The Roach Warren's going to get focused down, and if he can get this with the Zealots before a 2nd round of Roaches is produced, it's going to be a pretty good get. Roach Warren does go down. Mothership Core is now in this fight. Queen at the natural is going to go down. Drones getting pulled to attack the Zealots and tank while the Roaches move in. Looks like the Roaches are going to be able to clean up these Zealots with the help of the drones, but it's going to be at the cost of quite a bit here. I'm going to pull up the Resources Last tab in a moment after this last Zealot falls. Still pressure going on from 2 Stalkers who are just attacking Overlords. They're going to get sacrificed to the Roach Gods here soon. But if I pull up the resources loss count, we see 21 worker kills for Operator, who's actually in pretty good shape as he expands behind this. He's going to need some army back at home, though, in order to stop the counter-aggression that is bound to come, unless Bsharp decides to play more passive and just start up another expansion. 4 more Zealots running headlong into these Roaches, and they are actually going to get some kills. Very aggressive Time Warp going down, trying to keep the Roaches from kiting the Zealots. But it's thrown down a little bit too late, and the Roaches are able to walk out of it. A couple Queens are going to come out, help these Roaches Queen House. The Mothership Core is going to run away with 6 health, barely getting away from those Queens thanks to that Time Warp still being there. Bsharp choosing to drone up behind this. He's got a lot of drones to replace. His economy is really in shambles right now. We are looking at 21 workers to 21, 22 now actually. Not quite as bad as I thought. Zerg does have the ability to rebuild workers very quickly. But aggression still coming out of our Protoss players, warping in more Zealots at the front. Something just exploded. I'm guessing that was the Yamama ship core if I pull up the units tab. No, it wasn't the Mothership core. I don't know what I'm talking about. Zealots running around, just it looks like they plan to be checking the map. Proxy pylon's going to fall, however there is still the proxy pylon by the Rocks of the Third, which I do not believe has been scouted by the Protoss or Zerg player, and it has not. So currently, looks like there's only 3 Roaches. You have 3 Roaches on the field and 2 Queens for our Zerg player, and those 4 Zealots are still running around, scouting for any hidden expansions that might be around the map. They're not going to find one, of course. But Bsharp is just using this as an opportunity to get caught back up in economy. Another I can use words. Another Roach Warren going up in his natural expansion. Behind this, just probes coming out for our Protoss player, who is secured a pretty safe natural, but is not quite yet saturated. Just not enough probes behind the initial attack, maybe. I wasn't really watching his probe production too tightly then. But good rally there as he's populating his natural. Hasn't quite yet taken the gases, but he does have both gases in his main. No clear tech out from the Zerg the Protoss player, who's just kind of gathering himself after those initial fights. Our Zealot scouting party has given up on trying to find a hidden base of our Zerg player, and they're just kind of chilling in the middle of the map. Meanwhile, Zerg is playing macro, getting his ranged attack for his Roaches. No real other tech behind that. Still no lair. Lair just finished, rather, in the natural expansion. A lot of Zergs like to take the lair in the natural or the third base. Not so much the third base, more the natural, just because the lair has more hit points than a hatchery, so it holds up better during an attack. So that is what I would guess would be his reasoning behind taking it there. Burrow has started in his main base. Third base is going down, which is going to get scouted. I think he saw it go down at least. He did get a Zealot kill there.
Base is under attack.
No, he's not quite sure, but I think he can safely guess that it is there. Lazy ass Roaches are going to pull away with 25 health on that pylon in order to stop this Zealot counter aggression. So it looks like he's going to get the Evox chamber, and it's going to cancel that upgrade that just started. No, but is it going to go down? 13-6. Oh, last Zealot does get the kill right before falling. Restart, and it's going to force the Zerg player to restart that upgrade. That was pretty close. Talking about that transfuse, yeah, that Queen has 86 energy. Could have transfused the hell out of that. Transfuse, of course, being 50 energy, twice as much as a Creep Tuner or an Inject. So not, it's not always that Zergs have it on the standby, but in this case, he did have that energy for transfuse. Still just a little ball of Roaches out in the middle of the map. Operator now supply block thanks to losing that pylon, but he is taking a pretty bold third, which knowing the greedy play of Bsharp, I actually like this. I wish he had a little bit more army. It's got a bunch of sentries here and a couple Zealots floating in the middle of the map. I wish he had a little bit more army to defend this, but I actually like that he's taking the third. The only downside really that I see is the fact that it is being scouted by this Overlord. If the Mothership Core should be able to see that Overlord and allow the sentries to tickle it to death, which would be a pretty good get for him right now. Looks like he's maybe moving in position to do that. Does he see the Overlord with the Mothership Core? Yes, he does. He's got to know that Bsharp knows that he is taking that third base. He can see the assimilators.